Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, New Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Ferret, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light.
Hello and welcome back. Is it getting dark in here? Must be Twilight. Anyway, welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Core, it is.
Hey, I'm Will.
And the Master of the Pensive Stare, it is.
This is Matt. Just Matt.
In his chair. What, contemplating mysteries of the universe?
The thinking chair. Is that the thinking chair?
I can't think in any chair in my home.
Think about it. Hey, I know you're feeling overwhelmed. It will get better. Once children, right, Will, once children get potty trained, they can start feeding, all you have to do is put the food in front of them and they can feed themselves. You won't feel quite as overwhelmed.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
It's a long process.
Yeah.
But you're getting there, man. You're getting there.
I mean, look at Will, man. He used to carry his kids up the steps. Now they carry him.
That's right.
Yes, Matt Kona is contemplating the mysteries of the universe. How do they get the cheese in the pizza crust? The Boston people.
Boston pizza, yeah. That's an old joke. That's a really old
still gonna
joke.
make that road trip. Yeah.
It's a Little Rock.
Yeah, I was to say for the Boston pizza, which isn't in Boston. Yeah, because Lil still brings that up.
I thought they were Boston pizza owners.
Because when I think pizza, I think Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
Whatever.
All right, so what are we watching on television? Hey, Matt Conan, did you watch any more episodes of What If?
I have no updates to any real content consuming since I feel like a month and a half ago. I have not.
What was it? Episode 6 was last week. It was all right, but I thought it was kind of predictable.
Yeah, I mean, it was. That's kind of the trap I think What If falls into. It's like, oh, we can kill people, so you know what? We're gonna kill a lot of people.
Oh, that was the funniest thing online. They're like, in at least half of the episodes so far, at least 3 of the 6, they've killed Tony Stark. So they're just
yeah.
like,
Oh, really?
yeah, they just love killing Tony Stark. Yeah.
That's funny.
But no, yeah, last week was What If Killmonger saved Tony Stark, at the beginning of Iron Man 1, when he was getting attacked in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everything everything Killmonger did, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that coming. Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. It was by far, by a pretty wide margin, I think, the weakest episode of the series. So far.
Well, that's what I said. I felt that way too, just because it was so predictable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get what they were doing in the zombie episode because it's a zombie episode, so
Yeah.
people are probably gonna die.
I mean, come on, the last shot of the episode. Come on, that was worth it. Come on.
It was kind of cool. I have to admit.
Zombie, you know who? Yeah.
Yeah. We won't ruin that for you, Matt.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh no, everyone, the internet was all being hysterical about the zombie episode because it was actually the first time in the MCU Peter mentioned Uncle Ben.
Oh, really? Oh, I have a question for you, Phil.
Yes.
Did I ask you this last week, or had you not picked it up yet? Green Lantern number 6.
I did. Yeah, they did pick it up. So remember, that's when it came out with the annual, right? Yeah, I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Awesome.
yeah, but like I said, you'll like the annual because Hal Jordan's in it. So.
Yeah.
Not that you,
Well,
not that you like every story with Hal Jordan. But we'll get to it in a couple minutes.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, but you guys haven't seen? Have either of you seen Shang-Chi yet?
Not yet.
No.
I guess they announced today it's going to hit Disney Plus on, I think it's November 12th.
I'm behind on the Marvel movies. Still need to see Black Widow as well.
Well, Black Widow came out on Blu-ray already, so it should be on. I'm thinking it should be on Disney Plus.
I'll have to check. We just need to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I didn't go to check, but hold on, I can do that now. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be out there since it came out on Blu-ray and everything. Eternals comes out first week of November.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, Venom comes out first weekend of October.
Oh, that's around the corner.
Yep. October 1st. Yep.
That's like 2 weeks away. 1.5 weeks.
Not this weekend. Coming up the weekend after. Yeah. Yeah. Black Widow's on Disney. Wait. Is it? Oh no. Wait a minute. No, October 6th. Black Widow.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But yeah. So right after Venom. The theaters. I don't know, man. Woody Harrelson is Carnage, man. That's either going to be awesomeness or I don't
There's
know.
really no middle ground on that, is there? It's either going to be awesome or just not.
It's going to be awesome or.
It's funny. I'm looking at Disney Plus too, and you can't even watch it for $30 or something. It's just
like
I wonder
I said,
if that has to do with the lawsuit stuff.
I wonder, it's out on Blu-ray now, so I thought it would be out on Disney Plus the same day as Blu-ray, but I guess unless they're waiting to see and let them make some Blu-ray money or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they maybe want to do that and then finally release it on Disney Plus.
But yes, they did announce Shang-Chi's coming November 12th to Disney Plus, then Hawkeye's the day before Thanksgiving, which is like 6 episodes. So like we're doing the math on Capes and Lunatics. So like that's either going to run right to Christmas or like right to the end of the year, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
6 episodes on starting November 24th. So Hawkeye will basically take the rest of the year after it premieres.
Yeah.
Domination. Spider-Man comes out the week before Christmas. And then this is a DC podcast. I believe The Batman comes on March 4th.
Oh, Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Yeah, first week of March, yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see that.
I know, I'm holding out hopes. Do not sparkle, Bruce. Come on.
Sparkly vampires. You gotta love them.
All right. What else is out and geeky?
I don't know if I shared the link with you guys, but the writer of Green Lantern right now, Jeff Thorne,
I think
has a free Patreon post where he does annotations to each issue of the series so far.
Really?
So yeah, he's up to number 4, I think, which is kind of cool to see some of the behind the scenes stuff, why he made certain decisions, and kind of what's going on. So it's obviously you need to read the issues first, but it's pretty good.
Hey, go subscribe to our Patreon. We give you a commentary on Green Lantern issues every week.
That's right.
Especially now, kids. The Southgate Media Group is no more. We need the funds. Come on. Whereas Lilith Hellfire says in the PSA,
we need the money. Gimme.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. You know what I did see today? I didn't listen to it, but I saw the headline. Whose podcast was he on? Scott Bakula was on somebody's. Oh, was it Bob Saget's podcast, which I've never listened to? But the headline was like, yeah, Scott Bakula was on Bob Saget's podcast, and I guess he said there are talks about coming back for more Quantum Leap.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a Magnum PI rewatch because that show hit me when I was, the right age. It's imprinted on my soul or something. But I was reading that there was there are some unmade, unfilmed teleplays, and one of them was to have a crossover with Quantum Leap, where Scott Bakula would have leapt into Magnum.
Oh,
for the episode, which I thought was because the same Donald P. Belisario was the creator of both series, so I thought that would have been really interesting, but alas, it was not to be.
Oh boy. I can't judge you on the Magnum PI. My childhood, it was Knight Rider.
I remember watching that too.
What was the show for you?
I was MacGyver. MacGyver. Yeah. And I think that's available to stream on a few things now, and I've looked it up and tried to watch some.
That would be a bad show to just binge. I'll have to put that on the list. It's been a while.
There's a few apps. There's a few apps. I think, what is it? IMDb has one. I think there's even like a free version of Peacock. There's a few apps where it's like you can watch a lot of those shows. Like it's free if you watch like an ad or two. But
I was looking for because I remember when I was very young, Thursday nights was just PI night. We would watch Magnum, Simon and Simon, and Remington Steele. It was all Thursday night. It was like two of them were on CBS, one of them was on NBC, and that was just Thursday night PI shows. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you can't find Simon and Simon streaming, and you can't find Remington Steele streaming, which is really kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to go back and watch those.
This is weird, but it's a show that I don't think I've ever watched it, but I remember always seeing the ads for it because it was on always after Monday Night Raw wrestling when I was a kid. But there was a USA show called Silk Stockings. And,
I remember that show.
Yeah, and I always felt like, oh, this is like scandalous, but it was on USA. And,
I thought Conan was gonna say he was watching USA Up all night
with Gilbert Gottfried. No.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen that too.
I'm sure you have.
Some classic. It's like movies that are made because they have nudity in them, but edited for television.
That's the entire USA Network, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Where
God.
it was back then.
Yeah.
Speaking of old TV shows from my childhood, that was like a week or so ago. I found this. There's a page on Facebook. Where is it? I think it's Sinister Skeletor or something. But it's just memes of Skeletor saying like weird stuff, and then it ends with "Till we meet again." Like one was like lip syncing badly to TikTok video music on TikTok videos is not a talent. Till we meet again. Some of them get nasty, but yeah, it just ends them all with like "Till we meet again."
And remember,
Knowing it's happening now.
Skeletron was the love child of Skeletor and Megatron.
Yeah, the Quantum Zone. Yes, when we did Star Blast. Yes.
Skeletron.
Yes, remember Star Blast, Will.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices. That is the best prop ever from that whole nightmare storyline.
Yeah. It was worth it.
I am God.
All right, I know Will's chomping at the bit. You remember Twilight?
Let's do it.
Got some nice synopses for these. All right, kids. It starts in Green Lantern 48, January 1994. Man, they didn't let 1994 get away from them, man. January 1994. Emerald Twilight, Part 1, The Past. New writer, Ron Mars. Penciler, Bill Willingham. Inkers, Romeo Tangle and Robert Campanella. Colorist, Anthony Tullen. Letterer, Albert de Guzman. Editors, Kevin Dooley and Eddie Berganza. All right, so this issue begins with Green Lantern Hal Jordan in the middle of a huge crater that was once his home. This is going to go well. Coast City. After it was destroyed by the combined efforts of Mongol and the cyborg Superman during the reign of the Superman arc.
This is where we need the meme of the dog in the house on fire. This is fine. It's fine.
I know, it's like, I don't know. I guess he wanted to be alone, but it's like no one's like, hey, Hal. Want me to talk? As he is remembering the past, as he's remembering his past, including the time he met the dying alien Abin Sur, the episode 1, who before dying bequeathed his ring to Hal, is thinking that his power ring has enough power to recreate Coast City in his image, and does so. That button's gonna work out tonight, kids.
It is.
All right, I have questions about this, but all right, here, hold on. He first meets with his father, Martin Jordan. Again, see what episode 1, 2, and the two Jordans. That should be a sitcom. Have a talk about their relationship. Hal wants his father to be proud of him, since Martin only cares about Hal's 2 other brothers more than he did him.
That seemed to kind of come out of nowhere, right? Am I the only one that kind of said, "What? When did that happen?"
Okay, you're the big historian on Green Lantern. I mean, besides like Emerald Dawn, did they really have anything? Did they ever do anything with Hal's dad? Really?
I don't, and I'm not sure about this, so I need to do more research on it. But I feel like up until we reread, I think it was Emerald Dawn, or was it? Yeah, I think it was Emerald Dawn. We hadn't known anything about Hal's dad. That he just said he was a pilot. And because up until recently, I thought that was an invention of Jeff Johns, but he was taking it from the writer of the previous writer, who we will not name. But
we never have to name again. Yes.
Yeah. So. I thought that was interesting, but I don't know where this came from. Maybe I missed it. I certainly wouldn't be the first time I missed something, but this felt like it was just way out of left field, which I'm probably going to use that phrase more than once again as we do this. So be prepared.
Just set yourself ahead of time. I can just hit the button. Out of left field.
Out of left field. Button.
Martin then disappears through the smoke and his fighter plane appears. The recreation of his death is played out in front of Hal when a construct of his mother comes behind him and tells him that the best thing to do is to move on, but it's not enough for the Green Lantern. Instead of just creating constructs of his memories, he proceeds to create Coast City as if it was never destroyed. Hal then finds a girl named Jennifer, his childhood sweetheart before Carol. As they are walking back to Hal's house, they reminisce about the times when they were together and how the biggest mistake Hal made was leaving her. Okay, did anyone else find it creepy? Once again, his problem with teenage girls, Hal telling a teenage girl, "Oh yeah, I should never have broken up." I know he was 16 when, but is it? I mean, this is all creation of his ring. Couldn't he have aged her up?
This is all very, very strange. I mean, I feel like Ron Mars did the best he could with what he was given to do, but
With
It's not awesome.
the bag he was handed.
Yes.
With the flaming bag he was handed. When they reach his house, Jennifer gives Hal a kiss and disappears. Hal then goes inside and finds his father sitting at the dinner table. It's a hard day. It's a hard day at the plane crash, son. As he's about to tell Hal that he's proud of him, the ring's power dies out and the construct of Coast City fades away, and Hal is back in the crater. Then an image of one of the Guardians of the Universe appears and tells him that by creating a construct of Coast City, he has violated one of the most sacred laws of the Green Lantern Corps: to never use the ring for personal gain. Okay, so literally, if he builds it, they will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hal contends that it was because of his personal loss instead of gain, but the Guardian refuses to listen and orders Hal to surrender his ring. Finally, that ring runs out of charge, since he had a battery in 6
For 4 months, 6 months, yeah.
Hal contend, but the Guardian refuses to listen and orders Hal to surrender his ring and return to Oa immediately. However, desiring more power, Hal destroys the construct of the Guardian and absorbs the energy from it and proceeds towards Oa. But to destroy the core, as a couple is looking up in the sky and notices a streak of green flying across the sky and makes a wish for escape. So yes, kids, this is the first appearance of Kal Rayner.
But we don't know it
Alex.
yet. We just think
Yeah, it's the guy and his girlfriend with her bikini top falling off. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, maybe you want to be romantic and go to the beach at night, but I'm like, would you really? How close do we think they are to that crater where like millions of people just got killed?
And, it's strange that Coast City had such an impact on only one person in the entire DC universe. And everybody else is like, it's no big deal, whatever.
If nothing else, Warren Cow and his girlfriend be like, hey, what if that crater's radioactive? Maybe we don't want to have a picnic like a mile from that crater.
Yeah, it's...
And again, like, I guess everyone knows how Coast City was destroyed, but like, yeah, like you said, nobody cares. It's just like, oh, okay, on. And again, I get like millions of people were killed, but why is this choking Hal up so much? Carol wasn't there.
Yeah.
Tom wasn't there.
Everybody that he cared about was not there.
His parents were already dead. His brothers, as we already saw, live up north. Okay, maybe the high school girlfriend that we saw here, but it's like pretty much everyone in his maybe some people he knew at Ferris Air, but it's just like,
yeah,
everyone he had in his supporting cast at this moment was still alive.
Yeah.
Was like, I know, I've been beating this drum for 27 years. Okay, and here's my other question. The whole constructs, especially like his parents and like the high school girlfriend. So that was just like a projection of his subconscious, right? He's not actually literally like bringing people back to,
I don't think so, because, the things get even weirder with the ring and what the ring can do.
Yeah.
As we progress to number 50, okay? It just...
Oh, yeah.
It's...
Yeah, some of this new math I don't get. We're going to get to that, too.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Basically, at least...
Is it because it's Mars's first issue, though, too?
I don't know. I think he's a good writer. And I think
we're basically going to be throwing a lot of this out anyway. So,
yeah, I think it was that, hey, this has to happen. Just do it. Right. At least that's what it feels like, because, there are some pretty weird continuity things going on in these 3 issues. But, it was almost like, hey, we're going to rush through this. We're going to get that all out of the way.
We got to get
So
to 50. We got to get this done by 50.
So we can start 51 with Kyle and the whole new game basically.
Yeah,
so,
but would that have torn your heart out even more if they had given this like 6 issues?
I
mean, at least it was 3 and it was done.
It was 3 and it was done, but I don't know. So much of it was never really set up. I mean,
Again, I think it was like a pretty abrupt. Hey, Jones, you're out. Mars, you're in, and
and do this, and we're going to do this here, and that's what we're doing from now on. Yeah. I mean, I was reading the letter columns too after reading these, and I hadn't read these since '94, so it's been a little while since I've read them. But I think in one of the letter columns, he goes, "Yeah, Hal was just boring." Like, you're blaming the character, not the creative team.
Well, that's what they did. That's what they did when they killed off Barry Allen. They're like, "Oh yeah, he's boring. There's like nothing more to them, so we're gonna make Wally West Flash."
Yeah. But
he's an old man. You see all that gray hair?
Yeah. Gray hair. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I gotta know. All right, Matt Conan, this was your first read, right?
It was.
What did you
think?
All
right. I want to. Yes, I'm very curious to hear what you think.
Well, I mean, you guys kind of have danced around it a little bit, and I'll sometimes try to just include a little bit of static in my ears. Try to, I knew something big was going to go down. I thought maybe Hal would die, and I think from reading the letters column of the last couple. Yeah, I mean, he might have died in some of your hearts, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it started off like I felt like I had missed something, whereas like with the destruction of Coast City, and then it was going to be kind of told through flashbacks, and I feel like he went immediately into denial and trying to put back something that he could clearly not put back. If with all his power, you can't with all the king's horses and all the king's men, you can't put Coast City back together again. And, but yeah, and the problems at home, there was sort of reminiscent of the Guy Gardner stuff that we had just went through a few weeks ago, but maybe not as in your face in terms of a background story to it, but yeah, I don't know. And I did read the same letters column at the end of the final part, and I mean, we were just talking about the first part, right? The first issue, yeah. So I'm like, okay, all right. Well, he's clearly it's a bit of a heel turn, and then you look ahead to the cover of part 2, and you're like, okay, well, you ever in an in-ground pool and there's like a gradual slope to the deep end, but some of them are just a big old cliff. That's what this seemed like to me.
Okay.
That should be a drop. It's a bit of a heel turn.
Yeah. Note to future self. Yes, make that drop. But yeah, Matt. I mean, I think most of these Green Lanterns you've read for the first time. Since we've been reading since issue 1. Did this seem abrupt to you? Like all of a sudden, it's just like, okay, we're doing this all of a sudden.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like maybe, I mean, but the thing is that maybe he's had this sort of pent up inside him for quite some time. I don't know.
Well, like on around issue 100. Well, I think around 101. Yeah, we're gonna get in 2005. We get a retcon that yeah, Parallax is in there. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
you know, Will he's in his house head going, yeah, you play with your giant playhouse set. Yes.
Go get more power.
This panel, this line is this is the one thing I remember from this issue, no matter how long it's been since I read this. I'm sure it's probably Will's least favorite panel. It's just, I'm coming. Oh yeah, I'm coming to Oa. You're not gonna like me when I get there though.
Actually, I really had most of my memory was from 50 because I didn't remember much of 48 or 49. A little bit from 49 because that's where he fights all the other lanterns.
Yeah.
Which I have questions about when we get there.
Oh, I was talking to Lilith. She does want to join us for issue 54, the refrigerator.
Yeah, there is. That's
it added a word to the English language, a term,
fridging. Yeah.
or want to know where fridging came from, kids? Stay tuned in a couple of weeks. All right, should we move to 49?
Sounds good to me.
Get to this new math here. Next, it doesn't. All right, so Green Lantern, Volume 3, number 49 from February 94. Emerald Twilight, Part 2, The Present. Nobody opened that. Writer, Ron Mars, penciler, Fred Haynes. So we're like kind of like getting different artists each time. So was this a rush job or? I mean, they took a month off between 47. Unless
Bill Willingham's a good artist. I mean, the art in 48 was nice.
That was great.
Looked great.
Yeah.
And the art in this one has some. I mean, it's nice and solid, but there's some places where the faces are a little bit weird in some panels. But all in all, it's still good, solid art.
Yeah, it's good art, but it seems like his face starts off like he just got madder and madder for the entire trip, and you're like, oh, okay, this is the different Hal. This is Hal from Hell Hal.
Oh, that happens later. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah. No, but it's getting there.
I mean, literally. That's a spoiler for future stuff.
Hell. Yeah. Daryl Banks is the artist on 50. So I wonder if they just threw like fill-ins on 48 and 49 just so he could have time to do, because 50 was oversized, wasn't it?
Yeah, and 50 was also. I mean, it was early work for him. I mean, he starts off really strong as an artist, and he just grows and gets better and better, as the series goes on.
As we'll see in a lot of those early Cal Rayner issues, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Fred Haynes, the penciler on this one, inkers Romeo Tango and Dennis Kramer, colorist Steve Matson. So the rest of the team is the same. All right, get your tissues ready, Will. As the Green Lantern of Earth, Hal Jordan proceeds to Oa after the events of last issue. The Guardians of the Universe send a number of Green Lanterns in Hal's path to try and stop him. The first in line are Kihon of Varva and Lyra of Jade. Though they put up a good fight, they're no match for Hal Jordan as he defeats them and takes their power rings, leaving them floating in space whilst he continues his rampage towards Oa.
Okay, I have questions.
Yeah.
One, the ring, as currently configured in the DC universe, has unlimited power for 24 hours, right? What's infinity times 2 or 3?
And again, you can put 20 rings on. It's not going to boost your willpower any.
Exactly. And then the second.
Although maybe the way I've headcanoned this over the years, it's like, one, that way every ring he takes off a Green Lantern, that's a Green Lantern who can follow him.
Uh-huh.
And two, maybe someone just charged their ring, so if his runs out, he has another ring with a full of characters. At least a more time on it.
But the second question is, He takes their rings off while they're in space.
They should be dead. I know.
They should be dead, right?
Well, I think they even wrote that in somewhere along the line where it's like, oh, I left them enough power to. Oh yeah, in issue 50, doesn't he say that? He's like, I left them enough power to survive, and it's like,
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah, but then when it's like what he does at the end of 50, it's like, well, that's kind of a moot point now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hope they made it.
Well, that's another thing they retcon. After
Yeah.
Rebirth.
Well, and that even if he does destroy the central power battery, they're still going to have charge to the rings. They're still going to have, it's just that their battery won't get any more charges. So
Yeah.
they have until their ring runs out, right? So theoretically, he didn't strand anybody. Theoretically.
There's so many plot holes in this 3-part Swiss cheese.
Yes, there's a few.
As they watch Howl's approach, the Guardians see that he is more resourceful than they had thought, but they are not worried as they have others to stop him. Okay.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
The next Green Lantern to oppose Howl is Tomar 2, who proceeds to create a construct of a parasite from his world whose grip is virtually unbreakable. However, it doesn't stop the Mad Lantern as he cuts free of the construct and blasts Tomar into an asteroid. Okay, here's the best part of the issue. Just as he's about to finish Tomar off, Jack T. Chance arrives and attacks Hal from behind. Though he is tough, he is inexperienced compared to the years Hal has had. He knocks Jack out and proceeds not only to continue his path towards Oa, but to steal the rings of Tomar 2 and Jack T. Chance. I love that when he's like, how long have you been a Green Lantern? 5 minutes? He's like,
whack.
you're going to use a gun. Come on, kid. The next Lanterns to try and stop Hal are General Creon and Hanu. Both put up a fight, but are swiftly dispatched by Hal, who takes both their rings, just as Graf Torin arrives and is punched out by Hal, who takes his ring as well. Then it is the turn of the Green Lantern Boudica. Lobo Squeeze. Who was brought into the Corps by Hal.
Mm-hmm.
The fight between these two Lanterns is fierce, as even though Boudica is losing, she is determined to prevent Hal from taking her ring. Recognizing her strong resolve, Hal cuts off the Boudica's right hand, taking her ring and leaves her in space.
He gives her a hand. She gives him a hand to Oa.
Point me in the direction of Oa.
Oh, it's that way. Sorry.
Just as he arrives on Oa, where he faces the most important Lantern of his life, Kilowog. Even though two of the greatest Green Lanterns in the Corps were close friends, and Kilowog just wants Hal to stop and doesn't want to fight him, his loyalty lies with the Corps first. As they battle it out on Oa, it seems that they are both evenly matched, but because of the extra rings he gained from the previous Lanterns he defeated, Kilowog is clearly overpowered by Hal and is knocked out. So far. I mean, again, I guess he could shoot more conduits for his willpower, but I don't know.
I will say that.
I mean, again, maybe it's giving him a little willpower boost just because he's like more confident he has all these rings on his fingers. I don't know.
Well, I do like that one of the only results I like from this is the rings having a gas tank as opposed to being unlimited for 24 hours.
Yeah,
right?
we get rid of the 24-hour charge. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the yellow weakness. No more lamps. Issue 50. No more lamps.
No more yellow lamps.
Oh my God. Vril Drox is like, I painted my whole fleet yellow for nothing.
Yes.
Hal then continues his path on Oa towards the source of the Green Lantern Corps' power, the central power battery. As he reaches the batteries, the Guardians try one last effort to get Hal to stop his rampage against the Corps. But Hal was unwilling to listen, let alone surrender. So the Guardians send the last person out against Hal, but not a Green Lantern, at least not anymore. They've been teasing this for almost the whole 50 issues, kids. Sinestro, armed with a Green Lantern ring once again, as they are convinced that their feud ends here.
And that came out of left field.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we saw that action figure chopping heads off the other figures. Come on, Will.
Action figure to okay, it's a little bit of a leap.
All right, we'll get to you, Hal Jordan fanboy. Okay, Matt Conan, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, we there was a lot of left field. I mean, we saw some seemingly pretty bad mamma jammas of Green Lantern, other sectors sworn to defend the Guardians in the very beginning, and have them not fare very well against Rampage and Hal, and I like that they keep cutting back to the very similar looking frame or panel of the concerned Guardians watching this happen. Akin to like the emperors watching their someone that's being sacrificed to the lions actually doing well or something. But but yeah, did not see the Sinestro coming. I mean, in hindsight, I mean, I've seen him in Green Lantern uniforms and everything, but yeah.
I mean, he's been quote unquote dead for a while. So yeah, that was it. Really out of left field. All right, William, go ahead. Let him rip. Okay. How about this? Instead of Sinestro as the last line of defense, I mean, I know we had to do this for the story, just to end it all. But like, shouldn't the last line of defense been the Guardians pulled Guy Gardner and John Stewart from wherever they were at, give them each a ring? The two of them were standing there waiting for Hal. I mean, Guy almost beat him before. John Stewart has beaten him before. The two of them couldn't have taken Hal down.
Well, and you make an interesting point about John. Where's John?
John's a Guardian, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, where's John? Yeah, he's a Guardian. You bring Guy in with a yellow ring.
I mean, I haven't read him ever. Well, I'm going to read him soon, but I guess he's in Dark Star. I don't know what the status quo is. I mean, we've already forgotten the Guardian stuff, right?
So this is a plastic replica of Owen Technology, right? They made the ring. They made the AI that's in the ring, and looks like they would just say, ring number 2814, shut down. Okay, problem solved. Can we move on to the next thing? What we got going on today? Oh, we got to save, a galaxy or something. I mean,
more than 52, but it's good point. It's like, hey, how about every ring? Shut down everything but life support.
Yeah. And aren't the Guardians kind of the conduit of this power? Which, at this point, it's the green power. We don't know what it is.
Oh, it gets even worse at the end of 50. I'll point that out. But yeah, Sinestro again. But John and Jack Gardner ring back and say, hey, stop the core. You can have Earth because Hal Jordan's going to be kicked out of the core. So again.
Yeah, so there's lots of, the art was nice, and
it was pretty messy.
And the writing for what happened, it's not bad. It's just that overall the plot that was determined is less than awesome. about that.
It's just, again, we're knocking everything down. We're just going to go with one guy with one ring after this. And it's like, so we're just throwing everything in the water. That is how Jordan.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know,
Including his favorite.
yeah, there's just so many things. And then, I mean, honestly, it escalates. You know, the problems kind of escalate as we get to 50, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's, at this point, you know, Hal could still be redeemed. You know, he just rebelled, and you know that could be forgiven. So they have to make sure that he can't be forgiven. He has to cross the line, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then that leaves us
Chopping hands
with
off.
50.
All right, should we get there?
Let's do it.
All right. Emerald Green Lantern number 50, March 94. The cover says it all ends here. Emerald Twilight Part 3. Writer Ron Mars. Penciler, our current, our regular penciler going forward, Daryl Banks. Inker Romeo Tangle. Colorist Steve Matson. Letterer Albert the Guzman. Editor Kevin Dooley and Eddie Berganza. All right. Cue the Will crying. Continuing from last issue, as Hal's rampage brings him to Oa with the rings of several Green Lanterns who were sent by the Guardians to stop him, including Kilowog. Wait, he's not wearing Kilowog's finger, is he?
Yeah,
His finger like that big, you know, like that.
he's got it around his fist, like, you know.
Like a quantum band.
He's got an emerald band, yeah.
The Guardians send out their last chance for survival. Again, not Guy Gardner or John Stewart. Sinestro, who was imprisoned inside the central power battery of Oa. Despite the fact that Hal was more power than Sinestro, they agree that the final fight between the two greatest Green Lanterns should at least be a fair fight, with Hal taking off the extra rings. So yeah, like, even if it did give him more power, guess what? Oh, I'm just going to take the rings and go with one. The battle between the two is intense, and they each fire against each other and create a huge blast that knocks out most of their power. After the smoke clears, we see Sinestro holding Hal, but the young lantern breaks free and proceeds to knock the living daylights out of Sinestro while getting a few punches from the Korgarian himself before Hal beats him down. And proceeds to do the unthinkable. He snaps Sinestro's neck and kills him. I mean, come on! If there was one death that was deserved in this thing, that's Space Hitler. As the Guardians see their last line of defense fall, Hal is about to enter the central battery when he finds that Kilowog survived their battle. To ensure his victory, Hal makes sure that Kilowog is dead by destroying his body with a powerful blast, leaving only a skeleton.
No kill. No kill. They cannot kill.
Yeah, but
They're programmed.
Yeah, but did Hal take his finger? Oh wait, no, wait. Did
He was wearing his ring. I mean, the rings will not kill. I mean, they're programmed to not kill. So how?
He'll get reincarnated in about 10 years. Don't worry, Will.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now that Hal has crossed the line. Okay, here's my big problem. Now that Hal has crossed the line, he throws his ring away as he confronts the Guardians over what happened recently. So he throws away. He's wearing no ring. The Guardians still can't stop him. He's wearing 0 rings. They have no power. Again.
Sorry, I'm crying.
One blast. It's like, boom. It's nothing.
Just bubble him up. Problem solved.
Anything. Kick him in the shin. I don't care. They're just like, oh, I guess he won.
Yeah.
Who do you think they are? The Watchers? Like, oh, we can't.
That's totally the opposite of what they do. Everything they have for millions of years.
Hal reveals that it is too late for the Guardians and himself to stop what is about to happen as he leaves the Guardians and goes right into the central power battery, which he loves to do. Remember Emerald Dawn?
Parallax.
Yeah, it's looking that green, yeah. When they realize that all is lost, the Guardians realize that there is only one thing to do, and they choose the Guardian Ganthet as the one. As the power battery cracks and explodes, the Guardians unleash all of their energy and send it into Ganthet as the battery explodes, and Hal emerges in a new fancy man costume and wielding immense power. Look at my armor. As he's about to leave, Hal notices the dead Guardians and the last ring, which was his ring, which he destroys and leaves Oa. Malvolio's like, no! I was going to pull the trigger on that one day. No!
Yeah.
Among the dead Guardians, Ganthet rises and tells his dead brothers that he will grieve for them and knows what is to be done. As he uses the energy the Guardians gave him and creates a Green Lantern ring. Oh, he scoops up the piece of Hal ring and makes a new one. With no time limit. No Europe.
Now, there is something else good that comes from this, and I believe this, you've got to give credit to Ron Mars for this. Kyle does bring the Guardians back, but you get male and female Guardians, which I think is really cool because, you finally get some balance. And so, yeah, I mean...
Don't they start out as children, too?
I think so, yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Oh, and then New 52, a bunch of them go bad, and then they die, and then they find... I mean, they go through Guardians. Once we hit the early 2000s, they go through Guardians.
There's no... They just make more. Let's just make more.
Exactly. Ganthet uses the energy, creates a Green Lantern ring, and teleports away from Oa. Meanwhile, back on Earth, we find the man who saw Hal at the end of issue 48 notices the green, what he thought was a comet coming towards him and tries to run away from it. But it explodes, and from that, Ganthet appears right in front of the man, who will learn as Cal, and tells him that he will have to do, and gives him the power ring. When we ask the alien what he's supposed to do with it, Ganthet's last words are for the man to do what he must. As Ganthet appears and the man puts on the ring, when he is transformed into the last Green Lantern. So, basically, Ron reworked a script of Greatest American Hero.
There are some really good callbacks to this story in particular, and even this scene with Kyle in Rebirth, and going forward, because Sinestro, one of the things that I think it was Mars. No, I'm trying to remember when Sinestro came back. Did he fight Kyle at some point?
Yeah, in Rebirth, yeah.
Okay, so it was Rebirth. Sinestro really hates Kyle because he doesn't feel like he was ever worthy to be a Green Lantern, so he calls him like an alley rat or something.
Yeah, because of this scene. Yep.
And Kyle, I like the because it would have been easy for John to just completely discount Kyle, but he actually treated him with the kind of the respect I feel like he deserved. He was the torchbearer for a long time when there were no Guardians, there were no other Green Lanterns, there was nothing but him.
And I'll mention this retcon because it's over a year until we'll get the Rebirth. But the Sinestro killed in this issue was what they retconned it as a clone or something, and the real Sinestro is still out there, but he doesn't strike until Hal Jordan comes back. So
yeah,
he's gonna buy his time. He's gonna wait the next 10 years.
Yes.
Retcons. Okay, you know what? I have 48, 49, and 50 in like a little collection. They did like a soft cover, like 3-issue collection I have. So I don't have like the actual issue 50. Do you have the actual issue 50, Will?
I don't. I've got it around here somewhere.
Did you get the glow in the dark cover? Because I guess they must have did a glow in the dark cover for 50.
Of course, because I'm a sucker.
Yeah. In the 90s, man, glow in the dark covers that Ghost Rider.
I mean, Did you have a choice? I guess there were times.
There was a
I can
newsstand.
remember.
Yeah, there was a
you could
newsstand
get-
version, I think.
Regular newsstand,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. I think they did that with
What
something.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
Now that it's
Take
all
us home. Take us home, man. What do you think? You've now read
Oh boy.
a lot of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
the rise and fall.
Yeah. What a fall. Jeez. I didn't. I didn't see the Kilowog part coming.
Oh yeah.
Didn't really see the Sinestro part coming either, to be honest with you. I thought maybe he would defeat him. I'm still not 100% clear. I mean, I guess it was controversial for the Guardians to choose him before we knew who it was, when they were kind of going about deciding what to throw at him next, what would be their final obstacle or something, if you will. But yeah, just the disintegrating Kilowog like that was wow. That's a close ally. He's been a constant in the Green Lantern magazine, and
Kilowog is also the last survivor of his entire planet and race.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
yeah.
So not only his friend, man, he made our alien race go extinct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, from an endangered species to off the list.
But do you know what Sinestro's final last words were? Well, the clone.
I do not. No.
Oh snap!
That's bad.
Oh, it's nothing worse than what Hal Jordan did this issue. We've been teasing it basically since episode 1. So yeah, Will, any emotional baggage you have to get out of it? Any more emotional?
No, I mean I definitely didn't enjoy it at the time, and seeing it now for what it was, it's nothing against the craft of the people who put it together. It's just
I think it was very editorial driven. It's like, we need Hal Jordan out.
We need to do, these things have to happen. So make them happen.
Yeah, the Green Lantern Corps has to go away. We want to start with one guy, one ring, no baggage, no history, nothing.
And that was, that all that history, all that, the core, this grand tradition, that was some really cool stuff that there wasn't really anything else like it in any other comics. It was,
starting from
so,
yeah.
So it was kind of, sad to see that go. But, to his credit, Mars started, kind of a slow drip of a lot of the history of the Corps, even some previous, Green Lanterns, would show up in the book occasionally. Guy Gardner would show up.
Yeah.
And, ultimately, we get New Guardians, in the 170s or 160s. And ultimately we get, Green Lantern Rebirth, which was, all of this, and then all of, Kyle's run,
Yeah, we'll get
build toward that.
Yeah, it goes like 183 or 184. Yeah, then we get the Rebirth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an analogy to give the Kona for this. It's like, I mean, I guess, what if we had if you killed off Wendell Vaughn, Eon, Epoch, everything's gone, and you just handed a set of quantum bands just to some random guy and be like, okay, hey, here you go.
Don't put them on because you're not worthy. So,
which is I guess you'll have to do. Yeah, I mean, no mission statement, no nothing. Just hey, here you go. Good luck. Bye.
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, it was controversial back then, and a lot of fans did not like it. But
I mean, it accomplished. I think it accomplished what it set out to. I mean,
exactly.
I know for me, I was in and out on Green Lantern, but once Cal came in, I started collecting monthly.
Well, and I kept reading it because I'm like, okay, they're going to bring Hal back. They're going to bring Hal back. Well, they didn't, and ultimately, I drifted away from the book probably in the 120s. So I gave them I gave him time, to win me over. But
What, around one Fred Winnick took over or whatever?
yeah, that may have been Winnick has never.
Yeah.
His work hasn't resonated with me, so that may have been when I kind of jumped off. Was when he came on.
We'll see what you think. But what was I going to say? Damn, lost my train of thought. Any final thoughts on this, Matthew Kona?
No, I mean I'm still a little shaken,
Not stirred.
Not stirred. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. Obviously, in hindsight, I've heard the word Kyle Rayner around and everything, but I didn't know he was the guy getting sexy with the lady at the picnic earlier.
48.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, but we'll see. Well, I mean, it was very abrupt when he just gets his ring and he's just like, "Oh, well, all right. Well, the strange blue man gave me a ring, so I'll put it on. We'll see what happens."
And again, too. So like, it's like Ganthet doesn't know this guy. So I mean, for all you know, you're giving this ring to like a serial killer. You don't know.
I think that's been slightly retconned a little bit, and Ganthet kind of knows that Kyle is up for the job. So that's why he gives it to him.
Well, years down the road too, don't they retcon it where like don't they show like Ganthet went to Guy Gardner first and offered him the ring, and it's like, here, you want to be the last Green Lantern? The guy was like, no.
Which makes no sense, but that's okay.
Like Guy Gardner's coming up, it makes no sense because he's
because there's a great scene in Rebirth where I think they just put Parallax back in the central power battery. Hal, Guy, John, Kyle, and Kilowog. And Guy basically goes, kisses the ring, and like that's the way the Lanterns do it, because that's his whole identity. Is the Lanterns.
Khan's cleaning stuff up, man. They pull that alien DNA out of him. They slap a ring back on Guy Gardner. It's like, yeah.
and one of my, and we'll get there. And I know this is skipping way ahead, but the way Johns describes how each of kind of those 5 primary Lanterns, Hal.
Yeah.
Guy, John, Kilowog, how each of their rings behave, and the line that I still remember to this day is that Kilowog's ring is the only one that makes a sound when he uses it. It's like boom.
I do remember that from Rebirth. That is awesome. Yeah, where it's like Cal's the artist, so his stuff all has like all fancy looking. John's the architect. Which
so it's all structurally sound,
They kind of retcon that out of existence, but he's like the architect, so you can see like every moving part in his constructs and stuff.
And then Guy's is like leaky, it's sparking because he's always just his will is just trying to break free all the time, which I thought was kind of cool, But I mean it's at the time it was like we lost all that, and it was but we gained. I mean. The series had a great artist, and Marge is a really good writer.
Yeah.
But we lost Hal.
Yeah.
And we lost the Corps and the Guardians.
I know what I was gonna say. This happened at like the exact right moment because like this was around the time when like we lost the Quasar series.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, oh, wait, they're like rebooting Green Lantern here. Let me give this a try. Let me fill that, the slot in the, my Cosmic book. So I they canceled Quasar and leaked right to this book.
Yeah, that was a rough year, wasn't it?
I know, man. I'm surprised you made it in 1994. You lost the Quasar book. You lost Hal Jordan.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, we've got, there are some good issues with Kyle coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I've always kind of been a little bit sad that Hal wasn't wearing the ring when Grant Morrison, was doing JLA.
Oh, yeah.
And, when Final Night was that 96?
Yeah. So it was right
96. 97? I can't remember what it was.
96, I think. Yeah, because I think it was right before Superman got married. Because he lost his powers in Final Night. Yeah, he was powerless when he got married.
Yeah, and so from Hal here, Final Night is a certain character arc, and then
I mean, he'll still pop up from time to time.
and then I said Matt, Hal literally does come from hell later on after that.
Speaking of,
we'll get there.
Speaking of Will's request, yes, I put the Spectre issues on next year.
Things get weird for our science fiction hero. Villain, whatever he is now at this point.
All right, should we get out of here?
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll get to Cal Rayner's first day in 2 weeks, because next week we're going to see more of Hal in Emerald Fallout from Guy Gardner 18 through 21. If Fancy Man Caution wasn't enough, he had to add a cape.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
So yeah, Guy Gardner 18 through 21 next week. And then, like I said, in 2 weeks, Guy Gardner 22 and 23 and Green Lantern 51. Again, Kyle's first day on the job. Oh, next week, Will, you will get the answer to your question. What happened to that yellow ring?
Yellow ring. What? He didn't call himself Parallax in this issue. Does he first call himself Parallax in Green Lantern, or is it in the Guy Gardner issues?
I'm trying to remember. It might be. Is it 0 Hour?
It may be 0 Hour. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I mean, there's not a ton of him next week. There's a little bit, but yeah, and again, he doesn't show up in Green Lantern until like the Fallout. I'm pretty sure it's 0 Hour.
Yeah, so like 8 months in or something, right?
Oh yeah, we'll get there. Oh yeah, they kind of like keep him low key for a while. Then it's like, well, 0 Hour. All right, kids. So yeah, send your thoughts. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-capes. Oh, I should have said, hey, send your condolences to Will at capesandlunatics@gmail.com or 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-capes. Yeah, the grieving widow. All right, so find links to follow us on Facebook. Go join our Facebook fan group, the Book of Oa. Find links to all the social medias for all our shows, Facebook, Twitters, Instagram. Find links to this YouTube channel. Links to our Patreon, more and more important, kids, because once again, Southgate Media Group is no more. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. I think right now we have one patron. Hi, Ray. Yeah, so please, if you can, give something there or pick up some merch. But yeah, links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. I forget, is this hitting in September or October? But all right, if either way, starting in October, Capes and Lunatics will be all Marvel, and over here on Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks will be all our DC shows. So check all that out. And yes, please do what you can, contribute if you can, follow social media, subscribe to YouTube, all that good stuff. All right, Matt Kona, where can people find you and talk to you about poor deceased Killmonger?
I'll be in this chair at Matt Kona, MATTKONA.
The thinking chair.
And yeah, I might not respond. I'm too busy thinking. But
it's thinking time.
See you later, bunkies.
Suck it, Lilith.
All right, and pay attention, Will.
The yin to Darkhawk's yang.
All right, William Allred, Master of the Core, Master of the Quantum Zone, Grieving Widow. Where can people find you and your work?
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED. That's at Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and probably Instagram and all those, social media type places. You can find my self-published work, Crossover Division, at crossoverdivision.com. We're getting ready to lock orders for number 2 to get it printed very soon this week. Cool. Thanks, man. And then you can find previous work like Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And you can find all kinds of cool stuff about Quasar at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, look at the party. Party.
He goes limp in my grip.
That's what Hal said after he snapped.
Good one.
Thank you. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. Come back in 1 week for the Fallout. Guy Gardner, 18 through 21. Again, learn the final fate of that yellow ring. See more Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan still doesn't want you to see it. And then in 2 weeks, Guy Gardner 22 and 23 is on a quest for something. And Green Lantern 51. All right, kids. Remember, it's always darkest. Well, for the next 10 years. But till then.